Good afternoon. This is Tammy with the Forgiveness Connection coming to you for your episode number 75 of Forgiveness on the Fly. Today we're going to talk about some of the emotions of the lungs. The lungs can hold things like grief, they can hold rigidity, sadness, anguish, crying, yearning, and feeling defensive. So if there's an area of your life that you're feeling any of those emotions on, these would be some good affirmations for you to do. The positive emotion that we would like you to be feeling more of would be more joy, more happiness, and more relaxation. Let's go ahead and begin with some affirmations for extreme sadness. I forgive myself for believing the only thing I can feel is this extreme sadness. Take a deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing I can't see any joy in my life. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for thinking nothing makes me feel happy right now. The only space I can feel is this sadness and grief. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for feeling full of anxiety and stress and overwhelm, and for believing I have to rigidly hold on to this sadness as proof of how much I love that person that I had to lose. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing I can't feel happiness with that person missing from my life. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for the times I took for granted all of the joy and all of the happiness I felt when they were present. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for the things in the past that have me holding on to this extreme sadness at the loss of the relationship, the loss of the person, or at the reality of what the relationship truly was or truly looked like that I didn't choose to pay attention to back then. I only saw what I believed was true. And deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing this extreme sadness cannot change in my life unless I get the person back, unless I get the job back, unless I get the house back, unless I get the relationship back. I forgive myself for believing my being okay or my happiness is dependent on something having to return. Deep breath in. I forgive the other person for walking away. I forgive the other person for leaving me. I forgive the other person for dying. I forgive the other person for not valuing this relationship the way I did. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for thinking the only way to heal is for this thing to have never happened or for me to get that part of my life back. Otherwise, I have to feel extreme sadness and grief forever. Deep breath in. I say yes to the extreme sadness and I call it up out of every cell of my mind, every cell of my body, every cell of my spirit, and the soul of my family. And I release it to divine healing from God. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for putting that relationship between me and God. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for putting that relationship and that person before God by believing there's no way I could find happiness again. There's no way I could heal from this grief of this loss, which means I'm idolizing that relationship or that person over my relationship with God. Deep breath in. Without holding space for extreme sadness, I step into a new space where I can move forward and heal, where I can love myself, where I can love the relationship that did exist, and I can love that person even if I lose them or lost them. Deep breath in. I forgive the person for having to go. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing I have to feel sadness forever to prove the love and the connection and the greatness about the relationship with that person. Deep breath in. I ask the other person permission to forgive me for moving on. Permission to forgive me for having to go. Permission to forgive me for wanting to move forward and heal my life even without them present. Deep breath in. I love and accept myself, knowing that extreme sadness is not the emotion God would choose me to feel forever. Deep breath in. I love and accept myself, letting go of extreme sadness and settling into peace and comfort that I get to be okay on the other side of this loss. Deep breath in. I let go of the way I envisioned this relationship would look, the way I envisioned the length of time being, and the way I envisioned growing old together. None of those things got to come true. And although there is sadness in that, I know that if that's not what God designed for us in my life and our life together, that He has something more for me. And I have to exist and move forward and learn to love myself again, learn to worship, learn to let go, and that will open a space for Him to introduce something new. A new love of myself, a new love of life, a new hobby, a new relationship, or just a piece about the time that existed in the old one and what it meant. Deep breath in. Without this pattern, I'm free. I can truly let go and move forward with what God has next for me. And that sometimes means letting go of relationships that are still here, letting go of a person that still exists. And that also includes letting go of a person that's passed on, a person that's died or left my life. Deep breath in. One more deep breath in. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Those were your affirmations for grief and extreme sadness about the loss of a relationship that you lost through the ending of the relationship, and also even the possibility of losing somebody through death. This is Tammy with the Forgiveness Connection, reminding you that I'm here to help you with healing in your life, and that forgiveness truly is a big piece to full healing in your life. Stay tuned for another episode of Forgiveness on the Fly. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye.